The basis of the world-renowned Engels pigeon breed originates from Whitpender 30181, winner of 3 provincial first prizes, that was paired to Groot Blaubrot 31179, a daughter of stock pigeon Oudlicht. This pairing has given one of the world's very best breeding pigeons, the legendary Den 31, B86 661 6231, a truly special stock bird. You can tell from the history behind the pigeon breed of Flor Engels and Sons that Den 31 and his descendants have indeed played a defining role. The bloodline of Den 31 and his many successful descendants has significantly influenced the outcome of many provincial and national races. The Engels pigeons became even stronger when the fanciers from Pret paired their Den 31 to daughter 5th National Ace Pigeon 11193. It was this pairing that gave a new world-class breeding pigeon, namely the 178, B94 649 5178. He is a magnificent stock sire that plays a central role in the current generation of pigeons of Jos and Jules Engels. The winner of their national victory from Limoges is a good example, as the De-178 appears in his pedigree no less than 3 times. It was the late Flor Engels, who passed in 2002 at the age of 93, who laid the foundation for the highly successful Loft of Jos and Jules Engels, whose pigeon collection has gained a truly impressive palmares. Their list of achievements is nothing short of impressive. Flor started keeping pigeons shortly after the Second World War, around 1947, and he got his 2 sons Jos and Jules involved in his hobby from the very beginning. It was obvious that Flor had a great talent for keeping pigeons, as he quickly managed to play an important role in the sprint competition. Eventually he made the switch to the middle distance, in which he proved equally successful. However, he only started to become a well-known fancier in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The top breeders. The best breeding pigeons that the Engels Loft has bred are, among others, De-178, 086, the Diki and the Oud 93. However, the basic male of the Engels lineage is the well-known Den 231. This super breeder is the one found in the whole colony of Jos and Jules Engels. Females in the widowhood system. Every year, 30 females are trained to compete in the widowhood system. Their nest boxes are far enough away from the widower's loft so as not to disturb them after their daily training. In order to stay in the loft, the future racing females must pass their exams when they are young. Only the best youngsters qualify. The loft consists of 2 identical boxes, both with 15 boxes and a resting place where they can only perch. All places in the loft are protected so that they cannot be seen. Females are paired with adult males who have already been assigned a nest. They first pair up at the end of November. After about 5 days, they return to the aviary. In early March they pair for the second time, and it is at this time that they are allowed to rear their chicks. During this period, the widowhoods train daily between 6 and 7 a.m. gradually. In the evening they do so for an hour. Then they return to their incubation nests where they feed together. After an hour, they are taken to the adjoining loft, where there are no lockers and it is quite dark. This encourages them to rest. From this period, the racing season begins and lasts until mid-August. Weather permitting, the females run their first long-distance race in the first weekend of May. To increase motivation after a few weeks of widowhood, the bitches are paired for the last 2 middle-distance races, Bourges and Argenton. According to Jos, it is important that the pigeons are basketed weekly and preferably for the races where they stay in the basket for 2 nights. Experience has taught them that racing with widowhood females is an ideal system up to the extreme middle-distance provincial races. Starting with the long-distance, Limoges, the widowhood females experience problems with the rhythm, Jos Engels explains. Pigeons racing at weekly distances of 500 kilometers do not have to train so hard, in Jos' opinion. 30 to 45 minutes every day, with the flag when necessary, is more than enough. We can speak here of classic widowhood. The males are, like the females, mated at the end of November. They breed a round of youngsters and then go racing until mid-March. The yearlings remain in the races until the end of January. Only when breeding with the adult pigeons is finished do the yearlings receive a permanent nest. Once breeding is finished, the adult males are allowed to return to their roost, along with any chicks that may remain. After 5 days of brooding, they reach final widowhood. The real season begins at this time. Weather permitting, Burghs is achieved in 5 stages. After this, they have to run every 2 weeks. When this season is over, they can mull a little longer, but soon they are separated, so there will be no breeding for the widowers after the races. They are returned to the aviaries for 3 months, competing with the young birds. The first round consists of 100 youngsters, the second consists of 70 youngsters, mainly from the breeders. The 2 batches are darkened from March 1st to the end of June and then from 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 the following morning. Using this method means that there are no problems with molting up to and including the last race. When the young are separated from their parents, it is done according to sex. There is 1 loft for females and 3 for males. The second round is placed in a different loft. The first training races are planned for the end of April and the beginning of May. The pigeons do not have a nest before starting the widowhood system. Once they are in love, they race in the widowhood system. Before basking, the youngsters can see their mates for a few minutes. When they return home, the love story lasts for a few hours or until the next day, depending on how the race went. In 1980 they raced under the name Flor Engels and Son, and this until his death in 2002. Then it became Jos and Jules Engels. But a good year ago we also had to say goodbye to Jos. At the age of 80, sympathetic Jos left us and the name Engels, Jules and Yves is now on the result list. Perhaps the success formula of this world colony is the fact that they have always managed to keep the genes together. Flor Engels and after that his sons Jos and Jules are masters in keeping together and maintaining their own pigeon tribe. You can't call them inbreeders, but they do take care to the fact that they keep the good genes in and extended inbred, on a regular basis, together. Although it will never be the same, Jules will continue racing pigeons, with help from his son Yves. De Limoges, inbred to DEN 178 in 2015, De Limoges became the winner of their national race from Limoges against 15,009 pigeons. He is an inbred pigeon based on the illustrious breeder and stock sire 178, coming from a pairing of Sun-Cross granddaughter 178. Den 178 is grand father to many winners like Den Argentin, De Limoges, etc. Descendants of Den 178 are winner of First National Limoges against 15,009 pigeons. First National Z Limoges against 3,764 pigeons. First National Z Limoges against 1,987 pigeons. First Provincial Chateauroux against 1,275 pigeons. First Provincial Burghs against 1,249 pigeons. First Provincial Argentin against 1,538 pigeons. Thank you for watching. Until next time.